When people first hear about UiPath, a lot of them ask the same question. What do companies actually use this for? Because on the surface, UiPath can feel abstract. You hear terms like RPA, automation, digital workers. But what does that actually look like in the real world? That's what I want to talk about in this video. Not complicated coding, not advanced technical concepts, just practical examples of how companies actually use UiPath to automate work. At its core, UiPath is designed to automate repetitive digital tasks. Things people do over and over on a computer. Clicking through systems, copying information, moving files, entering data, sending emails, generating reports. A lot of business work is repetitive, and that's exactly where UiPath creates value. One of the biggest real-world uses for UiPath is invoice processing. Think about how many invoices a company might receive every week. Someone usually has to open the invoice, read the information, enter the data into another system, save the file, update records, and repeat that process again and again. That takes time. And it's easy for people to make mistakes when they're doing repetitive work all day. UiPath can automate much of that process. It can read invoices, extract information, enter the data into business systems, and organize files automatically. That saves companies time, reduces errors, and speeds up the workflow. Another major use case is employee onboarding. When a company hires someone new, there are usually a lot of repetitive setup tasks. Creating accounts, sending welcome emails, adding employees to systems, generating paperwork, updating spreadsheets. Those steps are often repeated for every new employee. UiPath can automate large parts of that process. Instead of someone manually handling every step, the workflow can run automatically. And that creates consistency. Another area where companies use UiPath is customer service. For example, a company might receive hundreds or thousands of customer emails every day. Some of those requests are simple. Some are urgent. Some need to go to different departments. UiPath workflows can help organize and route those requests automatically. For example, a customer email comes in. The system reads the message, classifies the issue, creates a support ticket, and sends the request to the correct team. That speeds up response time and helps prevent things from getting missed. Companies also use UiPath for report generation. This is a really common business task. Someone logs into multiple systems, downloads data, updates spreadsheets, creates reports, and emails them to management. That process might happen every day, or every week, or every month. UiPath can automate much of that repetitive reporting workflow. The software can log into systems, download reports, move data into spreadsheets, generate files, and distribute the results automatically. That saves a huge amount of manual work. Another important use case is data entry automation. A lot of companies still move information between systems manually. For example, copying customer information from emails into a CRM, updating spreadsheets, entering order information into software systems. Those tasks may seem small individually, but across an entire company, they consume a lot of time. UiPath helps automate those repetitive actions. Now, one thing that's important to understand is this. UiPath is not just about saving time. It's also about consistency. Humans get tired. People make mistakes, especially during repetitive work. Automation helps companies reduce those errors. And in some industries, that's extremely important. Now let's talk about where AI fits into this. Traditional RPA follows rules. If this happens, do this. But AI adds another layer. AI can help interpret information. For example, reading customer messages, understanding invoices, summarizing information, categorizing requests. So now companies are combining AI with RPA. RPA handles the workflow. AI helps understand the information. That combination is becoming very powerful. Now, another thing people ask is, does UiPath replace jobs? And honestly, most companies don't think about it that way. What companies usually want is this: reduce repetitive work, save employees time, improve accuracy, speed up processes. Because there are a lot of tasks employees do every day that are repetitive but still important. And automation helps remove some of that repetitive workload. That allows people to focus on more valuable work. Now, if you're interested in AI automation as a career, understanding these use cases is very important. Because companies don't hire automation specialists just because they know tools. They hire people who understand business processes, people who can identify inefficiencies, understand workflows, and improve systems. That's the bigger picture. And once you start thinking that way, you begin seeing automation opportunities everywhere. At work, in business processes, even in daily life. You start noticing repetitive patterns, manual tasks, slow workflows, and areas where systems could work better. That's one of the biggest mindset shifts in automation. You stop thinking only about tools and start thinking about processes. So if you're learning UiPath right now, don't focus only on technical skills. Also focus on understanding how businesses actually operate. Because the best automation projects solve real problems. If you want to see more beginner-friendly AI automation and UiPath content, make sure you follow the channel. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on practical, real-world automation. And I'll see you in the next video.